What do these actresses have in common? That's right. Each of them won an Oscar for Best Actress. They also share great talent and an impressive capacity for work. Helen Hunt began her career as a child actor in the 1970s. After 2 decades in the industry, she was finally cast in a hit TV show. She won an Emmy for 4 years and an Oscar for Best Actress during the same period. She practically vanished a few years later. Today, I would like to recall the actress's career and understand why now we hear almost nothing about her. Hunt's career is not like the rest of Hollywood's careers. She began as an actress at 10 in 1973. Pioneer Woman, a 1973 television film, was Hunt's first role. Very few actresses start their careers so early, and even fewer actresses then successfully go on to work in Hollywood for many years. Rollercoaster, an amusement park disaster film, marked Hunt's feature film debut. Most importantly, Rollercoaster was Steve Guttenberg's first feature film. A very young Steve had an uncredited role as a messenger who delivers rollercoaster plans to Siegel and Richard Widmark. It is, therefore, surprising that Helen has been starring in various TV series, television shows, and movies released directly on video for 12 years. And by the age of 22, she had already participated in more than 30 projects. And the key for the actress was in 1985 when Hunt jumped to the big screen with the teen dance comedy Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Sarah Jessica Parker portrayed the newcomer to town. When she and Hunt discover their mutual love of dancing, they become fast friends. Girls was a complete flop at the box office. It debuted in 10th place at the box office, trailing Witness, which had been on the market for 10 weeks. It should be noted that Girls Just Want to Have Fun was only released on about 600 screens, fewer than Amadeus had at the time. And Amadeus had already been in theaters for 30 weeks. Most of the top 5 films played on 1,000 or more screens. Critics at the time thought audiences were missing out on nothing. On the other hand, Girls Just Want to Have Fun have developed a cult following on home video and cable. Later that year, Hunt had a small role in Francis Ford Coppola's time travel dramedy, Peggy Sue Got Married. Kathleen Turner portrayed Peggy Sue, a housewife who had recently divorced her car salesman husband, Nicolas Cage. In addition to Hunt, future stars Jim Carrey and Joan Allen had minor roles. Peggy Sue Got Married mainly received positive feedback. It debuted in 2nd place at the box office, trailing only Crocodile Dundee. It eventually grossed more than $40 million, making it a modest success. Hunt finally got a lead role in a mainstream film in 1987. The film had a solid budget of $18 million in the 1980s. In Project X, she co-starred with Matthew Broderick and a non-space chimp. Project X was about an Air Force pilot who was assigned to work on a top-secret project with a chimp. Broderick played the pilot who suspects his ape friend is being abused. Hunt portrays a research assistant who teaches the chimp sign language. They decide to work together to help the chimp escape captivity. Project X failed at the box office despite mixed and positive reviews. It finished 3rd, trailing the re-release of The Aristocrats, which was already in its 2nd week. The film grossed just under $20 million in the United States. The actress's career has stalled. By the early 90s, Hunt had played in more than 50 projects, and there was not a single movie that was a box office hit. But in 1992 About You changed the actress' career. Reiser and Hunt had great chemistry, and Mad About You became a huge hit for NBC. Hunt received her first Emmy nomination for the show in 1993. She was nominated every year until the show ended in 1999. She won her first Emmy for Mad About You in 1996 and won 4 more in a row. During the show's first season, Reiser was nominated for an Emmy. He was defeated and was never nominated again. From 1992 to 1997, Hunt was nominated for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. She was victorious 3 times. Hunt and Reiser were paid $1 million per episode during the show's final season. Given the gold statues on her mantle, you'd think Hunt would be paid more. However, their contracts required. Mad About You was one of those shows that stayed on too long. The show's ratings had plummeted by 1999. Despite the disappointing ending, a 7-year run is impressive for any sitcom. As Hunt focused on her new full-time job of starring in Mad About You and collecting gold statues, the movie roles and side jobs slowed down. Many awards have opened all the Hollywood doors for Hunt. But she appeared in the crime thriller Kiss of Death, which starred David Caruso, Samuel L. Jackson, and Nicolas Cage. Crusoe famously left his popular TV show, NYPD Blue, to pursue a career in film. Although Kiss of Death received positive reviews, it was not a box office success. A movie with a budget of $40 million failed at the box office and managed to collect only $15 million. Crusoe's big screen ambitions were dashed, and he eventually returned to television with CSI Miami. On the other hand, Hunt kept her day job while dabbling in film. It was a successful strategy. She had no plans to watch any crime shows in the future. Hunt co-starred with Bill Paxton in Jan de Bont's disaster film Twister in 1996. Hunt is part of a team of scientists who chase tornadoes to collect data. Twister was a notoriously difficult production. After having a hit with Speed, it was de Bont's first film as a director, and it appears that the hit got to his head. The camera crew left at one point during production, claiming that the director was out of control. A new camera crew was required. There were several injuries on the Twister set. Hunt appeared to have gotten the short end of the stick. She and Paxton had their retinas burned by special lighting at one point. Both were temporarily blinded. Hunt was hit in the head several times and may have suffered a concussion. De Bont blamed Hunt's injuries on his clumsiness. Twister went over budget and over schedule. Paul Reiser delayed the filming of Mad About You by 2 weeks to accommodate Hunt's filming schedule. All of the effort and suffering paid off. Despite mixed reviews, Twister was a huge box office success. The film, with a budget of $92 million, was able to collect more than $494 million at the box office. It became one of the highest-grossing films of the year. Hunt had a successful TV show, her first Emmy, a couple of Golden Globes, and a box office hit under her belt. There seemed to be no way out but down. But first, Hunt needed to win an Academy Award. Hunt appeared in James L. Brooks' comedy As Good as It Gets in 1997, alongside Jack Nicholson. Nicholson portrayed an obnoxious, obsessive-compulsive writer. Hunt played the only waitress who could stand him waiting. As Good as It Gets received primarily positive reviews and was a box office success. It was nominated for many awards. Both Nicholson and Hunt won Oscars and Golden Globes. That same year, Hunt won another Emmy for Mad About You. In the end, long grueling work on small projects gave results. Helen Hunt has become one of the most titled actresses in Hollywood. She was called in all the most ambitious projects of the time, and at that time, she was only 35. After As Good as It Gets, Hunt took a break from movies to finish out her time on Mad About You. In 2000, the actress took part in 3 projects at once, which could qualify for the next portion of all kinds of awards. She first appeared in Nancy Meyers' comedy What Women Want, opposite a pre-crazy Mel Gibson. Gibson portrayed a male chauvinist ad executive who discovers he can read people's minds. Hunt portrayed his ad agency rival. However, he soon begins to reconnect with his feminine side. As is fitting for a Nancy Meyers film, the two eventually fall in love. What Women Want receiving mixed to positive reviews and was a box office success. World cinemas grossed $374 million on a budget of $70 million, and became one of the most iconic films of the time. Hunt appeared in a small role opposite Tom Hanks in Robert Zemeckis' shipwreck drama Castaway. Again, the film brought in a whopping $432 million, and Pay It Forward failed at the box office. The film was clearly intended for the Oscars, but the critics ignored the film. The reviews were not very kind. The film came in 4th place behind Meet the Parents, which had been in theaters for 3 weeks. But Hunt's luck ran out when she appeared in Curse of the Jade Scorpion. Allen is notorious for keeping his scripts under wraps. He allowed Hunt to read the entire script for The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, but she had to finish it in one sitting and return it to the courier so the hand could be returned immediately. The Curse of the Jade Scorpion is regarded as one of Allen's lesser works. Unfortunately, it is also his most expensive, with a $33 million budget. Allen later admitted that it was one of the least favorites of his films, and that he felt he let the rest of the cast down by casting himself in the lead role. Allen has been known to reshoot movies when the casting isn't working out, but that wasn't an option this time due to the cost of the period sets. The Curse of the Jade Scorpion received mixed reviews. It debuted in 11th place at the box office and grossed approximately $7.5 million. Allen's films are notorious for being low-grossing. Hunt began dating TV producer Matthew Carnahan in 2001. As the couple started a family, Hunt's output as an actress slowed significantly. In 2004, they had a daughter. Given that Hunt had been working since she was a child, The decision to scale back her career is completely understandable. She already had more awards than any reasonable person could possibly imagine. She was in the enviable position of having it all. And after the wedding, the number of roles, as well as their quality, decreased markedly. A Good Woman, Bobby, and Empire Falls, all these films go unnoticed by the audience. Actress tried herself in the director's chair with the comedy drama Then She Found Me. The film premiered at the 2007 Toronto International Film Festival. Reviews were mixed. Then She Found Me continued to play the festival circuit through 2008 before receiving a limited release. Hunt starred in the Christian surf film Soul Surfer in 2011. The film is based on Bethany Hamilton's book. Hamilton was a surfer attacked by a shark and lost her arm. The book and film tell the true story of her struggle to continue surfing after her accident. In the film, Hunt and Dennis Quaid portray her parents. Despite mixed reviews, Soul Surfer was a modest box office success. It debuted in 4th place, but grossed slightly more than double its production costs. And Soul Surfer was the last film that had any kind of minimal success. All the other films went straight to video or failed at the box office. Yes, and big projects at the actress were no longer. Helen Hunt attempted to direct the 2015 surfing film Ride. She portrayed a mother who travels to California after her son abandons school to go surfing. Before being released, the film was shown at film festivals, but it was unsuccessful. And though Hunt isn't quite as busy as she once was, she still works daily, selecting and choosing projects that interest her. She began her career as a kid actress. She worked hard for decades and achieved beyond anyone's greatest dreams. And her trophy cabinet was overflowing.